Next, I'd like to invite up Matthew Kapelewski to join me on stage. Matthew is the director of chemistry at Orbital, an AI-focused startup in Princeton, New Jersey, where he leads teams developing breakthrough materials that capture carbon dioxide from the air and improve cooling for energy-intensive systems like data centers. By combining chemistry and AI, his work is driving more efficient and sustainable solutions to some of today's most critical energy and environmental challenges. A 2012 honors graduate of the Everly College of Science with a degree in chemistry, Matt spent 3.5 years conducting research with Professor of Chemistry, Dr. Mary Beth Williams, on inorganic linked peptides. Look, 4-year degree, 3.5 years he worked on research. That's really remarkable. That's a truly dedicated student. As a student, he was also deeply involved in thought, serving as fundraiser chair for Atlas and contributing to donor, alumni, and communications committees. After earning his PhD in chemistry from the University of California, Berkeley, he spent 6 years at ExxonMobil Research, where he scaled carbon capture and decarbonization technologies, advancing solutions that could transform how industries address climate change. Matthew, we all talk about AI, we all talk about data centers, we all worry about sustainability. We are so grateful that you're taking your Penn State Foundation to address truly impactful challenges, not just in the US, but for humanity. So thank you for all you do, and it's my honor to present you with this 2026 Alumni Achievement Award.
Thank you, everybody. Thanks to everyone for being here. Congratulations to all of these other extraordinary awardees. I'd also like to recognize the Alumni Association for recognizing me. I've had a really great day back here, meeting with students and faculty all day, and remembering all of the good times that I had here while I was a student. I want to say thanks especially to Professor Dan Sykes for nominating me. He taught me analytical chemistry, which is a really foundational course in chemistry, and I still use a lot of the techniques that I learned in his class today. So I'm a chemist, like we said, and I've dedicated my career so far to sustainability and carbon removal, including in my current role as Director of Chemistry at Orbital Industries. And reflecting on my time here at Penn State, it's really funny how little moments kind of set you in a direction, and at the time you don't even realize it, and then you look back and you're like, wow, that was so formative for me. So as a few examples, in my freshman year, I asked my chemistry professor at the time if I could do research in his lab, and he said no. His lab was full, but he suggested other professors that I could work with, and I ended up in the lab of Mary Beth Williams, who I'm really excited to have here with me tonight, and she was hugely influential in my career. Being in the lab and getting to do real, legitimate, messy lab work taught me so much about how to think and learn and ask interesting questions. An example is that I spent an entire semester just repeatedly taking apart and putting back together this instrument with really no guidance or instructions just to get a single piece of data. So I feel like that's very emblematic of scientific research. And after Penn State, I've spent basically my entire career working on some porous materials called metal organic frameworks, which won the Nobel Prize in Chemistry this past year. And I did not win the Nobel Prize. What's interesting, though, is that I got into that field solely because of a single paper that I wrote in a class here. And at the time, it was just a thing I was doing. And then I look back and I'm like, wow, that set me on a trajectory for my whole career. I grew up in a Penn State family. My parents, Gina and Tom, are sitting over there. They were both part of the class of 1982. I went to football games in the Creamery as a kid, but I really couldn't imagine, coming here and doing lab work and raising money for Thon. So that was really awesome. Thanks, Mom and Dad, for all the support from the very beginning. Thanks also to my wife, Rebecca, for being really supportive. She's here with our 2 kids who are right over there. Hi, Nico. Hi, Maya. We're hopefully going to get their picture at the Lion Shrine tomorrow if they cooperate. Also, thanks to my grandma for making the trip out here, and some really great friends I made in college: Mike, Chris, Jason, Troy, Tim, and Rob. So thanks again to Dan, Mary Beth, and the Alumni Association for the award. I'm 1 month away from aging out of this award, so I just snuck in under the wire. I guess I'll be a middle-aged alumnus. So yeah, thank you to everyone for being here, and stay curious. Thank you.